Hello students, this is Mrs. Miller, and the purpose of this video is to show you how we're going to complete our paragraph practice on a regular basis. We need to make sure that we're organizing our writing, and we're going to start by learning how to correctly write a paragraph. So when we write, we want to make sure that we start with a topic sentence. This gives a general overview about what our paragraph is going to be about. Then we want to go ahead and put 3 details. Sometimes we put more than that, sometimes there's less, but for this practice, I want us to be in the habit of putting 3 details in the body of our paragraph. And finally, we have a conclusion. Our conclusion is how we wrap up our writing. So when we're finished, our work will be like this. We have our topic sentence, 3 details, and then a conclusion. And then we're going to rewrite the paragraph. And mine was a little bit longer, and I had to go on over to the back side. So I'm going to walk through this process with you. Our topic for today says, what are 3 things you do every day and why? Since we are in a higher grade, I want to make sure that we're adding plenty of details and plenty of sustenance to our writing. So when we have a topic sentence, what we want to do is we want to make sure that we're restating some of what's in the topic or what's in the prompt. So I'm going to go ahead and write out my topic sentence. I'm going to put, I have a busy life, but there are 3 things I make sure I do every day. So I'm writing that out. I have a busy life, but there are 3 things I make sure I do every day. Now, I would like for you to notice how I restated some of what was in the prompt. It said, what are 3 things you do every day? I made sure that in my topic sentence I put 3 things I make sure I do every day. So I took some of the words from the prompt and I included those in my topic sentence. Now, I want to expand my writing just a little bit. I said here that I have a busy life. So in order to add a little bit more to my writing, I could say just a couple of things as to why my life is busy. So I'm just going to put an arrow right here. I have a busy life because I am a wife, I'm a mom, I'm a teacher, and I am a photographer. So this lets the reader know a little bit about how my life is busy, why my life is as busy as it is. So next I want to go to the body of my paragraph and I want to put some things, some details about what I do every single day. The first thing I make sure that I do every single day is I have my quiet time. So I'm just going to jot that down. And during my quiet time, I make sure that I do my devotions. I read some scripture. And I pray. Now notice that the prompt also says, and why. This is adding some more to our writing. Why do I do this? Well, it's because it starts me on the right path for my day. So I'm going to jot that down. Starts me on the right path for my day. Now, a second thing that I make sure that I do every single day is I eat. I make sure that I eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Why do I do these things? Well, I need to have the strength to get through my day, so I do it for strength and nourishment. And I also like food. So I'm going to put that down as well. Another thing that I make sure that I do every single day is I hug and kiss my sweet Naomi and I tell her that I love her. So hug and kiss Naomi. and I tell her I love you. Again, I want to make sure that I include why. Why do I do these things? Well, this builds her esteem, this builds her self-esteem, and it helps her know that she's important to me. So now I have my concluding sentence. My concluding sentence kind of ties everything together. So I'm going to write, regardless of how busy I am, I make sure that I do these 3 things every day. Do you see how once again I'm taking these key words from the topic and I'm including them in my sentence? I did that for the topic sentence and I'm doing that in my conclusion. So I'm going to write, regardless of how busy I am, I make sure that I do these 3 things every day. So I'm going to highlight those words again, 3 things every day. The words that I took from the topic here that were in my topic sentence and now reappear in my concluding sentence. Now, the instructions here say copy your complete paragraph, all 5 sentences into the box. I am going to tell you that as 7th graders, it is okay if you write more than 5 sentences, especially since we're putting why we do some things. And to have good fluency in our writing, it's okay to have some longer sentences, some medium length sentences, and some shorter sentences. And so since we're going to be breaking up our sentences in that manner, we might have more than 5, and that is quite all right. The basic thing is making sure that we have our topic sentence, our body with the 3 details, and our conclusion. Go ahead and watch as I write out mine. I'm going to start with my topic sentence. I'm going to write, I have a busy life as a mom, wife, teacher, and photographer, but there are 3 things that I do every day. I have a busy life as a wife, mom, teacher, and photographer, comma, but there are 3 things I make sure I do every day. So I just took my topic sentence and I took this little part right here and I made sure that I included that and I wrote my topic sentence right here. Please note that I indented my paragraph. I noticed that some of you are not indenting your writing when you're starting a new paragraph. It's very important to do that. That helps the reader know that that's a new thought. You're moving on to a new thing. So let's get to the details. I'm going to use some different transition words in my writing. And so since this is the first thing that I do, I'm going to put the word first. So first, I always start my day. First, I always start my day with some quiet time. I'm going to go ahead and add these details right here in a separate sentence. I'm going to say what I do for my quiet time. I read a devotional and some scripture. And I pray. Now, even though I'm about to say why I do that, I don't have to use the word because. I don't always have to keep using because. That's just not good writing. So I could just make my next sentence saying the reason why I do this. So I'm going to write, this starts me on the right track for the day, or the right path for my day. This starts me on the right path for my day. That's it. I'm finished with my first detail. Now I'm going to go on to my second detail. I'm going to write, next, I always eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner as I need proper nourishment to have the energy to get through my day. So because of different sentence lengths, I'm going to go ahead and make this all one sentence. It's going to be my long sentence, okay? Next, do you notice how I put a comma after my transition word? That's good writing. That's the use of good conventions. Next, I always eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner as I need proper nourishment I'm going to go ahead and go over to the back because I'm running out of room. Proper nourishment and strength to get through my day. Now, I noticed that I had written right here that food is good, but I feel like this is a really good sentence, a nice meaty sentence, so I'm going to go ahead and take that part out. Okay, now I'm to my final detail. So I'm going to use another transition word. I'm going to use the word finally. Finally, I always hug and kiss Naomi and tell her that I love her. Why do I do this? I know I'm not going to put because. I'm going to go ahead and put another sentence. Remember, I have different sentence lengths. I'm going to write, my sweet baby girl needs to know that she is the most important thing in my life. So I reiterate that through my words and actions. Okay, that was my third detail. Now I'm ready to put my concluding sentence, and I have it pretty much exactly the way that I want it. Regardless of how busy I am, I make sure that I do these three things every day. Regardless of how busy I am, I make sure that I do these three things every day. Now, I'm not finished. I must proofread my work. That's why when I did this copy, you can see that I made some changes because I always proofread my work. When I don't, I make mistakes. So I want you to be in the habit of doing the same thing. So I'm going to flip my paper over. I'm actually going to lift it up like this. I'm going to lift and read. This gives me a different view of the paper. I have a busy life as a wife, mom, teacher, and photographer, but there are 3 things I make sure I do every day. First, I always start my day with some quiet time. I read a devotional and some scripture, and I pray. This starts me on the right path for my day. Next, I always eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, as I need proper nourishment and strength to get through my day. Finally, I always hug and kiss Naomi and tell her that I love her. My sweet baby girl needs to know that she is the most important thing in my life, so I reiterate that through my words and actions. Regardless of how busy I am, I make sure that I do these 3 things every day. Okay, my friends, this is a really good paragraph. There's good organization, and that's the main thing that we're focusing on here with our traits of writing. We're focusing in on the organization. So now it's your turn. I would like for you to fill out your own graphic organizer telling me 3 things you do every day and why. Don't forget to include your topic sentence, your 3 details, and your concluding sentence, and then go ahead and write your paragraph. Like I said earlier, it's okay if you have more than 5 sentences. That's not a problem, especially if you're adding a few more details into the body of your paragraph. Go ahead and give it a try.